Many people are talking about the unrest in Tanzania, saying the country is on the edge of civil war. But President Samia Suluhu Hassan has just been re-elected with 97.66% of the vote, winning over 31.9 million votes out of 32.6 million cast. Well, isn't election unrest actually a normal thing in Western-style democracies? The losing side will never just accept disadvantages quietly. They'll protest and cause trouble. Recently, the Tanzanian government asked people to work from home during the day, the police declared curfews at night, and the internet was shut down for days. I've been to several cities in Tanzania myself, and last December I even climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. From what I've seen there, I believe President Hassan's re-election was beyond doubt. If the result had been different, that would have been a disaster for Tanzanians. The CCM, Tanzania's ruling party, has held power since the country's independence in 1961. It has always maintained a dominant position. The World Bank predicts that Tanzania's economy could grow by over 6% high. As long as its politics remain relatively stable by African standards, its fiscal policies are sound, its state is manageable, and its credit rating is B1, Tanzania is entering a new phase of rapid development. It's not at all comparable to the chaos in Congo or Sudan. Yes, opposition protests have broken out and some areas have seen unrest, but global media are exaggerating and spreading fears non-stop. Well, we Chinese can see this situation more clearly, not because we are much more smarter, but because China once suffered from the same problems. Before the Communist Party took power, China had tried almost every kind of political system and failed under all of them. That's why we understand the weaknesses of the so-called multi-party democracy. In countries that follow the Western model, protests and riots by opposition groups are normal. Even the United States, the so-called beacon of democracy, had over 7 million people protesting with no king slogans not long ago. Compared to many of its African neighbors, Tanzania's protests are especially severe, and the government hasn't lost control, nor is the Tanzanian government as corrupt or incompetent as, say, they pose. Of course, when I say unrest is normal, I don't mean it's right, it's still wrong, but once a country chooses Western-style democracy, it must also accept that protests and unrest become routine. Unless you are President Kagame in Rwanda, that's simply how that political system works. Right now, Tanzania's government is not extremely corrupt, and it's not at a point where revolution is necessary. The country still has great potential for development, but only if it stays politically stable. So Tanzanians need to see clearly who their real enemies are, who is driving the country into chaos, who is encouraging division and conflict, and who is pushing Tanzania toward war. Those people, they are the true enemies of all Tanzanians. Follow me on Eastern Perspective to see the world out.